Hey, it is lift time on the Toyota Tacoma. Finally going to change out the lift, going with more of a suspension lift. Well, good afternoon everybody and welcome back to the channel. I want to take a quick walk around the truck before we take it in to have the work done so we can kind of have a before and after view. So real quick, this is obviously what it looks like now. You guys can see here, and I'm looking at the wheel gap and the height of the truck and all that kind of stuff. Front and back, driver's side. Go around here and look down the passenger side. You guys can see right there. Okay, gonna try to do this with one hand on a camera and one hand on a tape measure. Where I'm measuring is right down here from about the center of the wheel. This isn't exact. To straight up the bottom of the fender well there. So let's start with the driver's side front. Just kind of hold that with my foot down there. And you guys can see it looks like it's right about, we're going to call it 33 inches from this angle. Now we'll go to driver's side rear. Same thing here. And that looks to be about, we'll call that 33 and a half. Now we'll go over to the passenger side front. Same thing. Take a measure. Again, I know this isn't scientific. Looks like about 33 inches or so right there. Pretty close to the front, or the driver's side front. Let's check the passenger rear here. And that looks to be about 33 and a half from my angle. You guys are more straight on than I am, but we're gonna call that about 33 and a half. So that's just a quick check just to see where it's at now. We'll check it once we get in and have the lift done. So stay tuned for that. Okay, on my way to Texas Tire. Today is lift day. I am replacing a lift on my 2020 Tacoma, going from just a regular 3.2 block and spacer ReadyLift to a 3.2 coilover. So it'll have new struts, new coils. There will still be an integrated spacer in the coil. This is something I think relatively new from ReadyLift, but should be pretty cool. And new Bilsteins in the back. They're going to be the 5100s. What I'm looking to attain here is obviously a better ride, get rid of the bounce, and just have a little more stability in the truck. I also have a little bit of floaty steering, so hopefully it will improve all of that. We're going to find out. So let's get on over to Texas Tire and get this done. Okay, we are inside the shop. Had to do a little voiceover here because of music that they have playing in the shop. Copyright things, you know, but check out how many wheels they have at this place. I mean, if you're in the market for wheels and you can't find something you like at Texas Tire, then I don't know what you're looking for. Now, I will say they can order wheels in addition to this, but I was just amazed by the stock, the inventory that they have inside the store. I mean, something for everybody, even chrome. Now, we're gonna step out into the shop. My truck is sitting in the shop, and pay attention as to how clean it is out there. I mean, I know it still is a shop, right? But look at how nice it looks, man. And it just makes me feel good, I guess, when I take my truck to a place that has some pride in how the shop looks. Nice and clean, love it. Now we're going to take a quick look as the process begins. This is a look at the stock setup. You can see the coils and the stock Bilsteins. As soon as I whip the camera around the other way, there's how they're holding it up, jack and stands. There you go. There's a close look. Those will be gone soon. Now, over on the other side, taking a look inside the wheel well. They've just started taking things apart. You can see some things drop down there. Still have the shocks in. Now, we've got everything torn down. I had no idea they had to tear apart so much stuff, especially taking the calipers and the brakes off. I was shocked. I didn't know. But there's another look just before we get rid of the stock suspension. And now, here we go. This is the coilover / Bilstein setup, the new ReadyLift setup, along with the built-in integrated spacer on the top. There's the old OEM lying there dead on the floor. Now, taking another look, there's a little still, everything fastened up there. Again, still laying there. They put everything back together, the calipers, the brakes, everything is all reassembled rather. Just another look at how it looks inside with all of the bits and pieces put back together. Here's a close-up of the strut there for you. Looks pretty good. I like it, even though it's silver. All right, there's a little still, kind of getting a look at the spacer up there. Over to the other side, taking a look at how things sit. Or actually, now we're over at the other side. This is the driver's side. Looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. It won't be long. Now, we did have to take it over to be aligned somewhere else. There's just a quick couple of shots of the truck sitting there at the alignment shop waiting to be done.
Okay, truck's all done. Took about, let's see, I took it in at 12 and I left there at right about 4 o'clock. So about 4 hours. Not too bad. Anyway, I'm bringing you guys on the inaugural run on Lift Part 2 for my Toyota Tacoma, or Tacoma Lift 2.0. I don't know, but anyway, I gotta say, I've got my truck back. I've got my truck back because it feels like it felt when I drove it off the lot with the stock setup. Now, what I did, just briefly, and I'll leave a link down below if anybody wants to check out the specifics of it, but it is what I'm going to call a hybrid lift. It's a ReadyLift. It's a coilover lift with a built-in spacer actually in the coil, and it surrounds a Bilstein strut, and then there are Bilsteins on the back, the 5100s on the back. I gotta say, this is what I should have done in the first place, although I'm not positive this lift was actually available when I got my, or when I put the lift on this truck. Now, there was nothing wrong with the lift that was on this truck, I don't think. I had it on my Sport, and it was just fine. But I think the difference between the Tacoma Sport and the Tacoma Off-Road, the suspension setup anyway, is just different enough that you really need to beef up the components when you do a lift on this truck. I think it needs to be some sort of a suspension / hybrid suspension lift. So take it for what it's worth. Also has something to do with the tires that you put on, of course. They're going to be more, they're going to be rougher if you put a more aggressive tire setup on here, which I did. So that figures in a little bit as well. But I think this lift is perfect for the truck, unless you want to spend thousands and thousands of dollars and go with some kind of a traditional full suspension lift, let's say. Cost on this, I believe, installed with the alignment, right around $1,600. So it's not the cheapest one you can get as far as this type of lift, but certainly not the most expensive. And if you're looking to do a lift once, at least on the off-road version, I would highly recommend that you check this one out. At least give it a look before you go into anything else. Now, how is the ride? Well, I complained about before, and the reason I did this to begin with is because I had that bounce, right? You drive along and the truck was bouncing. It's gone. I mean, you might be able to tell from how things are being filmed right now and how my voice is that, and I'm on that road, by the way, that is pretty harsh. which is where I really noticed that bounce before. But it's gone. Now, does that mean that I'm driving around on a Lexus or Cadillac type ride? Well, no. It is still a truck, for God's sake. It is still going to ride rougher than, a luxury car. But I guess the way I differentiate it is, or how it is now, is that I'm feeling the road as opposed to feeling the truck feel the road. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sitting in the seat with the truck doing this. I still feel the bumps, and you're gonna. It's a truck. But I'm not feeling the truck feeling the road. That's the biggest difference, I guess I could say. Now, as far as the steering goes, I didn't have any steering work done, and I've talked before about the steering being a little bit light. I would say that the steering is still light in the truck. I think that's inherent to the truck, to Toyota's Tacoma, but it is less pronounced than it was before. When I took bumps before, I could feel, it felt like the front end was kind of floating, it was kind of floating. I'm not feeling that so much now. I feel a little bit of give here or there, depending on how severe the bump is, but it is definitely not what it was before. So I am very happy with this, very satisfied with it. Want to give a shout out to Carlos and his guys over there at Texas Tire. If you happen to be in the RGV area, South Texas, and you're looking for a good shop, check them out. Good shop, nice and clean over there. Great waiting room for you to sit in if you're crazy enough to wait for the whole time like I did, 4 hours. And he's good about meeting the schedule. I didn't drop it off at 12 and get a call at 9 o'clock at night or something when I was told it would be done in 4 hours, and it was done in 4 hours. So at least the lift part, I did have to take it to be, or it did have to be aligned after that. That was about another 45 minutes. So 4 hours and 45 minutes to be exact. Anyway, I would check them out. If you're in South Texas in the RGV, definitely worth checking out. Texas Tire over there on Tyler Avenue in Harlingen. Anyway, leave a comment down below. Let me know if you've heard of this hybrid lift, if you checked it out down there in the description column. If you've ever heard of that, if it's something new. I think it's new, but I could be wrong. It could have been out for a while, and I just had never heard of it. I'd be curious to know, especially if you haven't. Let me know what you think of it. Also, shameless plug, if you haven't before and you're interested, check out my other channel. It is RobMotion, all about my 2020 Jeep Gladiator. And don't forget to click that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. Also, one more thing, I had done some measurements before I went in and had the lift done to see just where the lift was. And there'll be another video coming up. I'm going to go over that. I didn't want this one to get too long, so you saw the numbers in this video. There'll be another video coming up to measure what the truck is actually at now that we have this new lift. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.